Well, everybody loves building and gluing tires, right? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Alberta RC Street Outlaws. Thinking about starting a new little series here, Back to Basics, just to help the newcomer that's getting into the hobby. And yeah, maybe even a veteran that didn't think of something before. But yeah, mostly just geared out to the new person getting in and how to get started. Today, we're going to be talking about gluing tires and get them nicely on the rims. All right, I'll get the camera switched over here. So today we are mounting some Dragworks red dot tires onto the Traxxas wide drag rims. So what I like to do before I do anything is we'll take these off. I want to actually see how the rim is because I've had nothing but problems with the Pro line. So what I like to do is grab a drill. 1 second here. I'll just mount the rim up just to a drill. Should be the right size. Just to check the trueness of the rim before I even start the balance process, because if they're too bad, no point in wasting a wheel, glue, and time. So yeah, I'll spin it. There's a little tiny wobble there. It's not too bad, but definitely doable. So next, I'll actually check the balance of the rim. So we'll take this off. And I'll grab my tire balancer. And we'll see how the rim is weight-wise, because that's going to determine on which way I'm going to put the wheel on. All right, put the spring in. All right, perfect. All right, perfect. So yeah, I'll just let it spin and I'll mark the heavy spots on the rim with a paint marker. All right, so once you get your favorite paint marker, make sure that it's nice and wet. Perfect. And yes, I'll just bump this a little bit just to do a full rotation and see if it falls down somewhere. There we go. You can see it split directions. So it's found its high spot, or its heavy spot. So I'll just coax it to help it slow it down a little bit. All right, perfect. So then what I'll do is I'll mark the bottom of the rim right at the very bottom. And that will be my guide to follow when I recheck the balance with the tire on it. So you can see there, I marked it there. So next we'll put the tire back on and we'll rebalance it. And again, these are the Dragworks red compound. They're a really nice sticky tire right out of the bag. I got on the pre-order for a couple more sets of reds and yellows. So we'll be seeing those come in the next couple of weeks and then get those all mounted, glued, and balanced and get them broken in. I'll do another video on how I like to break in the tires. All right, so once you have the tire sitting nice on the rim, make sure there's no beads sticking out anywhere. I will go put this back on again. And what we're doing is now we're trying to find the heavy spot on the tire itself. And then when it comes time to balancing the wheel once it's all glued in place, you won't have to hopefully put a whole crap ton of weight on one side. So now I'll spin it again and see where the high side is. All right, so it's still showing the same spot on the rim. So what I'll do is I'll do a little dab on the tire now. So now we got your heavy spot on your rim, your heavy spot on the tire, and I will turn around and I'll spin the tire on the rim so they are directly opposites of each other, and see how the balance turns out after that. You'll see a little bit of a wobble just because the rim ain't fully seated on the rim properly, because the tire is just a little bit bigger, so we'll adjust that when it comes time to gluing. All right, so slowing down, and now we'll see where it sits. If we got a common heavy spot or if it's found a new spot. And it looks like it's still heavy rim side down. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do before I get to the tire gluing process. Yeah, and of course, if you are finding that the weight is still heavy on that one spot, you can continue to clock the tire in the rim, go every 15, 20 millimeters until you find a sweet spot on the tire where it seems to be the minimum amount of weight needed, and lock it in there. And now we get ready for the gluing process. All right, so J Concepts has these awesome rubber mounts or elastics, basically just to hold the tire on the rim properly for when you're gluing. You get them in a pack of 4. I think I paid like 10, 15 bucks Canadian for them, but they work freaking awesome. So what we'll do is we'll throw them on and we'll start off on the backside. And I like to use 2 just for making sure that this tire wants to sit nice and tight inside the bead, and works great for gluing. All right, so what I do is I'll get them real close to the edge. Just to make sure that bead sits in there real nice and snug. And then what I'll do is I'll actually put a second one on. And go right behind it. And that ensures that not only is the bead nice and tight on the edge of the rim, it's also tight against the bottom of the rim, at the bottom of the seat. So I'll work the bead or the band all the way up to the other one. Back this up a little bit. And then you can see that you have a nice perfect bead set inside that rim. And then what I like to do, if I got another one, is see how much I can rotate it back and see if it falls back in. And if it does that, oh, you can see the bead popped out there. I just want to find a sweet spot where you can rotate the bead all the way back so you can glue both sides and then snap it back in place. Takes a little bit of messing around, but once you figure it out, it makes gluing a heck of a lot easier. And then you don't have to worry about just pulling edges back. All right, now it's time to actually start the gluing. I am using this stuff right here. It's cures really fast, so you gotta be careful with this stuff. I would like to find some adhesive that's a slower dry time, and then you can really work the glue in the tire without having to worry about it setting instantly as soon as you put it in. And the other product I like using is the J Concepts glue tips. So they come in a huge pack, paid $6, and yeah, you just put them on the end of your glue bottle and cut this end to whatever size you want, and then you end up with something like that, and then you can get into the edge real nice when it comes time to gluing. So yeah, let's start the gluing process. So I'll just prime the needle here. We want to make sure you always keep it down. So you got the glue sitting there. So I'll go in. I'll work that bead real nice. Go around, make sure you get the inside. And then snap her into place, and then that's that. You are done. Super simple. Get a nice clean look after. And we'll let her sit for 20 minutes. See how it's set. And then we'll move on to the front of the tire. Alright, now that the back side is glued and nice and dry, just go over it. Just make sure that there ain't no missed spots. And it looks like it's pretty good. So we'll move on to the front side. But hindsight, I think we should have did the front first. It's easier to peel the tire back than it is forward. So it's going to take a little bit of work to get this tire pushed forward to sit on the beads properly. But we'll do a little work on that. Get everything pushed forward. And then same thing as before, we'll take the tire bead things, whatever you want to call it, glue rings, and we'll get them inserted on the tire. Just trying to get it pushed as far forward as possible and have this hold the tire. And we'll add another one to the front, because what we're trying to achieve is make sure that bead sits perfectly inside. Oops, fell off. All right, so getting there. It's looking pretty good. Probably want to put another, back this one up, put another one on. Sometimes doing these wide rims can be a pain in the butt to get these tires to fit properly, because you don't want an uneven bead when you're gluing, because create a wobble in your tire when you don't want that. So looks like, but yeah, just make sure. I'll see if I can zoom in here. Yeah, you want to make good and sure that that bead is sitting in there properly. And it will stop any unwanted tire hop when it comes time to balancing your tires finally. So this time we'll have to just peel back and then glue, peel back and glue. So we'll get the glue out. Prime the tip again. All right, perfect. So then I'll just peel the edge back one at a time. We'll get side there. Make sure you get nice on the bead. Same thing, peel back far enough so you can get to the very inside. So not only does the tire glue on the edge of the bead, but it also glues to the bottom of the bead on the rim. And it'll stop any kind of tire separation, especially when your people are doing 90+ mile an hour with these tires. You don't want a tire failure create a win or a lose for you. Tire is officially glued. I like to stretch it out so get a nice firm grasp, and then it'll seat the outside edge of that tire on the rim. And we'll let her sit. And that's that. Then the gluing of the tire is done. So we'll wait another 20 minutes and we'll see how she's looking from there. Alright guys, after letting it sit for 20 minutes, we have a nice glued tire. So I like to just work the foam on the inside, make sure it's not folded or creased or anything from when we're gluing. But you should have a nice solid bead. There shouldn't be any peeling apart. That's exactly what you want to see. And yeah, that's how do I glue tires. And next time we'll get into balancing them the rest of the way. But this video is already getting super long. Thanks a lot for the guys that stuck around and watched through. And if you like the content and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and hit the notification so you know every time a new video is updated or uploaded onto my page. And I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Peace.